colleagues. Welcome to the new interview at Rosmould channel. For those who has just joined us, Rosmould is a unique trade fair dedicated to mold and tool making in Russia. One of the very dynamic and interesting section in Rosmould is 3D tech, which includes additive technologies and 3D printing. It is held in cooperation with the Formnext and the German Association VDMA Working Group Additive Manufacturing. And today our guest is Dr. Markus Heering. He is Managing Director of Working Group Additive Manufacturing in VDMA. Hello, Markus. Nice to see you, and thank you for coming.
Nice to see you.
On our channel, we study real cases in additive manufacturing, new research technologies and materials. So please subscribe our channel to watch new interviews. So my first question to Markus is, what is the structure of the additive manufacturing working group in VDMA?
Yeah, we have right now. We started. Let's say we started in spring 2014 with this additive manufacturing group at VDMA, and we right now have around about 175 member companies, and we have members all along the process chain. That means we have software specialists, we have manufacturing companies, we have users of the technologies, we have suppliers of materials, we have research institutes working on that, and we have, last but not least, users and service providers for IM technology. That means we have everybody who is involved in industrial use of additive manufacturing here within the working group, and this is more or less unique also at VDMA, that we have a section group where everybody who is active at this field is involved. And this is very special at Additive. And it's the same time an added value for everybody, because we have total different views on that, and we have always current topics what we are able to discuss and to bring it forward. And so that makes it's very special. In that there is no typical structure. Of course, we have a board at the working group, and then we have member companies. But the special thing is that we have the entire process chain integrated in that.
Mm-hmm. And what is the role or mission and goals does this group have?
Yeah, the overall goal is the industrial use of additive manufacturing. We as VDMA, we are representing the engineering industry, so the manufacturing industry at all. And with this new manufacturing technology, additive, is the idea behind is to bring that more to industrial use, to discuss what steps are necessary to have more acceptance on additive manufacturing for the industry.
And what results of the additive manufacturing working group activities are you mostly proud of?
Yeah, what I said before, mostly proud of the group at all. So that we now have been able to bring over the last years more than 170 companies together to one working group to establish this network in Germany, also with some international members, European members, and to have this open discussion and bring it a step forward in belonging of the acceptance of additive for the industry.
I mean, maybe you can remember some important projects, important for industry, for manufacturing in Germany, for example, or
yeah,
many of them.
Yeah, the most important is, as I said before, it's the industrial use of additive manufacturing, to bring that forward. And for that we have this network, this group, but we have some special activities what are really interesting. One is of course that we have a roadmap where we would like to be in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. What are the next steps? We have some specific working groups on OPC UA, so the machine-to-machine communication, also important for additive, also to integrate additive in other facilities and locations together with tool machines and others, to have here an open floor, an open platform. We have some standardization activities for pressure parts, yeah, I guess this is the most important. And last but not least, another important issue is the activities in cooperation with exhibition and trade fairs, like with Rosmould in Russia, but also, of course, with Formnext. This is also an important issue because this is a little bit one of our PR activities to bring additive more to the public, and bring it more to the relevant players at the market, and make it transparent and inform them about the developments.
In Russia, we have a lot of difficulties with certification of materials, especially in aerospace industry. How it is going on in Germany in particular, and in Europe, in your opinion?
Of course, we have the use of additive produced parts and materials. It's in some sections it's an issue. The aeronautics industries, they have some certification procedures and schemes for this, and this is still working. We have some certified producers right now in Germany and also in Europe. For other industries, like pressure parts, there we need an own standard, because usually you need a certification of the pre-materials. This is impossible with additive technologies. And we have, of course, some challenges if we use that materials in the medicine sector, but also on that, we go a step forward, and it's more and more accepted on that. And so, yeah, it's growing, it's more and more established, and I guess we have a big step forward done within the last 2 years in this sector.
In Russia, we also have a lack of well-qualified staff in additive technologies area. Do you have such difficulties in Germany, and what could be the right solution for this problem?
Yes, we have, unfortunately. Yeah, the challenge is that we have to integrate that more and more in the education of the next generation of engineers. This is a challenge from different aspects. And we all know, if we have learned over decades to construct and build machines and engineer and design engineers based on the traditional manufacturing methods, how to do it. And now we have a new method and a total different thinking, and we need a new approach in engineering. And the only way is to change the education and to bring it also as part of it. And we are working together with the German government in the field of education and engineering education on that, and try to establish additive manufacturing as part of the education scheme for engineers in the future, and to have on that field more acceptance. And in addition to that, also for the producers, for the working staff, that additive is also part of their education scheme, and to bring transparency in that field in education for everybody.
Do you work with universities, schools, maybe?
Yeah, we work with a lot of universities. Some of them are part of the additive manufacturing group with the research institutes. Mm-hmm. But we try to work together. We have an organization of universities, mm-hmm. engineering universities, and we try to bring it to everybody, because it doesn't help if you work with 2 or 3 universities together and the others are not able to integrate additive to this. So we try to bring it to everybody who is active in education of engineers. And we have some tools here in Germany, some working groups where we can do that. And we started right now, beginning of this year, a new activity, a new section with the topic education of engineers in the field of additive. And this is a huge issue for the next month.
I have another question about education. Do you focus on only technical universities or common universities also, but with technical departments, technical institutions inside these universities?
Yeah, no, it's not just technical universities, it's universities at all, but only that universities what are active in the field of engineer education. We have some universities in Germany what are just educating medicine and pharmaceutics and something like that, chemistries, and that doesn't make sense to work with them together. But all universities what are active in some technical fields, they are part of these groups.
Okay, thank you so much. And my next question is, what are the main industries that use additive technologies most actively in Germany?
It's of course the typical players what we see. It's of course the aeronautics industries, so space technologies. It's a big issue. What we know. So medicine, especially dental, is growing step by step in that. And of course also mechanical engineering. It's a big issue. We see it more and more use of AM technologies, and that means both. So metal-based procedures and also polymer-based procedures. They are more and more accepted by the mechanical engineering industry. And we see also the automotive industry. It's using more and more additive, especially if we're speaking about e-mobility and new production technologies for e-mobility. AM is part of the range of products and procedures what are in the focus of e-mobility. So I would say this is the most using part, but also the electric and electronic industry. We have a working group with them together about additive technologies and the use of additive technologies for them. All production technologies, they are interested, and AM is becoming more and more important for them.
And what are the goals of the additive manufacturing working group for the nearest future?
A lot of things. First of all, we hope that we are able to have again a general assembly. So simple, but we have postponed it now for 2 years. And we hope that we this year in June could have a real general assembly with a physical meeting. It's an issue. We are very happy and a little bit proud that we had the opportunity to have Formnext last year in November. It was not easy with the circumstances, but everybody was happy to be there. That shows us that we're on the right way with trade fair shows. We have some working groups. The OPC UA part for the machine-to-machine communication is very important right now. We'll start some more European activities this year. Yeah, the education scheme, so the connection with the universities on that, and to bring that more in acceptance, that additive must be an integrated part of the education scheme for engineers. It's really important for this year. So and then we will have, last but not least, of more communication with the politicians in Berlin, and also maybe in Europe about the future of AM and the opportunities of AM, to bring that more for them in mind, that this is an interesting technology. Yeah, a lot of things to do, and we just can do one after the other. So this is the challenge what we have.
And what is the attitude of the government to additive technologies for Germany? Do they understand the importance? Do they understand the future of additive technologies?
Yeah, I guess we have a long history in additive manufacturing in Germany. I guess it's now more than 25 years that the first companies start with AM technology and develop AM technologies at universities and also at research parts or departments of companies. And it's always the same. Then you have a huge hype of that. Everybody is discussing about additive, and then people what are not involved in technology think sometimes now everything is done, so it's perfect. And we all know we have just done the first step of a long walk. So a lot of things to do, and we need the right infrastructure for develop this technology. We need the right prepared circumstances to develop this technology, and this is what we have to discuss. And as we said before, the lack of engineers is one big issue what we have. So we need well-educated staff for developing the next generation of AM technology, but also we need a well-educated generation of engineers for the use of additive manufacturing. The only way is to bring all the benefits of additive if you have an engineer who is able to think with this new approach of additive, and it's a complete rethinking of design with additive. And if you're not able to do that, you can't use the benefits of that, and then you fall back to the classical manufacturing procedures, and to evaluate before which could be the right technology, AM or the classical methods. This is the challenge what we have, and we have to inform the technicians about that, but also the public authorities and the government about that we need this structure to establish this new technology, and what that could mean for the production location here in Germany. This is the issue.
And Germany is a very good example of additive technologies development. How do you think, what is the secret of success?
Yeah, I guess it's a long story. And as I said, 25 years or more than 25 years from the beginning to now shows it's a long way. It's not a quick step, but we have an idea, and a couple of years later, we have a well-established technology. I guess it's one side is that we in Germany have well-educated engineers, and also a well-developed landscape of research organizations like Fraunhofer's, and also universities with a lot of research capacity. This is the benefit on one side, and the other side is that we let's say that our industry is always investing a lot of money year by year in research projects, and bring the existing technology from a high level to the next level. And I guess the combination of both, so basic research with well-established and well-educated people on one side, and the industry with the research capacities, the investment on the other side, and the idea and the opportunities and possibilities to integrate new technologies in their machine or in their business program. I guess both in combination brings the huge benefit for Germany in additive manufacturing, but also in development of other industries.
How do you think the impulse of additive technologies development should be from the government or from commercial companies? I
guess usually it's come from the companies and not from the government. But the governments have to take care that the circumstances are in that way that you have the possibility to use all the benefits of AM. And they are responsible, for example, here in Germany for the education scheme. And so this is the combination of both partners, what you need. So you need on one side the organizational structure and the government with creating education schemes, and also the barriers, trade barriers for export, for other questions. And on the other hand, the industry, what develops the ideas.
Thank you so much, Markus, for such interesting interview. Please subscribe our channel. Do not forget to see our new videos, and see you at Rosmould.